Hi everyone, how you doing? Welcome. My name is Venom and I'm here to give you an introduction to the PlayStation TV. I'm going to talk about it, explain what it is, what it does, show you how to set it up, share my opinion, and in the process endeavour to give you enough information so you can decide whether it's right for you. The PlayStation TV, known in Asian territories as the Vita TV, is Sony's first foray into the field of micro-consoles. It uses the same computing power that can be found inside the PlayStation Vita handheld console, but it has been specifically designed for connection to a HD TV. It has 3 core uses. It can play a select range of PlayStation Vita software, either by downloads or using the same physical Vita game cards. It can use remote play. This allows you to play your PS4 console on a HD TV whilst you're in a different room from it. Audio, video and input signals are transmitted back and forth between the PS4 and PS TV. You can also use it with the PlayStation Now game service. This will allow you to rent PS3 games without having to wait to download them, because they are streamed in the same way YouTube videos are played. The beta is already running in the USA and it launches in 2015 in the UK and Europe. Now let's take a look at the hardware. The Apple TV is already a very compact size, so in comparison the PlayStation TV is a dinky little thing. It's 6.5 centimeters times 10.5 centimeters and it weighs just 110 grams. It literally is something that you can pick up and put in your pocket. This is the Vita game card slot. You can buy physical copies of Vita games, which you insert here. This is the power button. The memory card slot. Here you insert a Sony custom memory card which you can use to store your downloaded games, apps and media such as video files. The USB port. You use this to register a DualShock controller with the PlayStation TV and to charge the controller. However, if you insert a USB drive with video or music files, the Vita can't read them at the moment. The HDMI port. Use this to connect it to your TV. The Ethernet port. Of course PS TV has Wi-Fi built in, but if you can, use an Ethernet cable for superior download speeds. The DC power port. As I've got some installed games already on this memory card, I can easily put them into the PlayStation TV and start using them. So that's what I'm going to do. And it just clicks into place. There. To be able to navigate around the PlayStation TV interface and play games, you can use either a DualShock 3 or a DualShock 4 controller. However, the first time you turn on your PlayStation TV, your DualShock controller won't automatically work with it. You have to first pair it with the PS TV, which means for them to synchronize with each other's Bluetooth signals. The way you do this is connect your DualShock to the PlayStation TV using the USB cable. So this is one end of the cable, you plug it in, and plug the other end in to the USB port of your TV. Turn your PS TV on by pressing the power button. Your PS TV will now be on and you'll see this message asking you to connect a controller. Once you've done this, hold down the PlayStation button. They will be paired and then you can remove the USB cable from your DualShock controller and use it wirelessly. Now you're ready to go through the setup process of the system software. First, select your system language. For me, it's English UK, but of course choose whatever language is appropriate for you. Adjust the image so the white corners reach the end of your TV screen so you have the maximum image size, but also you want to make sure those corners are viewable. Now select the time zone for the part of the world you live in. Set the date and time. You are then asked if you have a Sony Entertainment account, also known as a PSN account. Rather unnecessarily, you're asked if you want to use your account with your PS TV, and I'm going to choose use. Then you come to your internet connection settings. If you want to use a LAN cable, then make sure you connect one from your PS TV to your router. If you select Wi-Fi, then it will display a list of local Wi-Fi signals. Select the one from your ISP, then enter the passcode. Then enter your PSN ID and the password. Whilst you're waiting, you can hear this pretty funky system music. Cheery, merry, just a little bit annoying. So now we have the same Vita OS with the bubble buttons. This hasn't been changed at all for the PlayStation TV. I've been so used to looking at this on a little 5-inch screen that it's kind of funny for me to see it on a large 40-inch TV. But to me it's beautiful. The bubble interface was originally designed to be navigated with touch. On the PS TV you use the control sticks of the DualShock, but as the DualShock 4 has a touchpad, which is what I'm using, I think it would have been logical to be able to use it. Likewise, when entering text, you can't use the touchpad on the DualShock 4, although you can when using it on a PS4. Press the PlayStation button to see the controller settings. You can enable vibration, and you can use the touch pointer in compatible games. This allows you to emulate the Vita touchscreen controls with L3 or the Vita rear touchpad by pressing R3. But this will only work with slower paced games. The standard Vita apps all work fine. The web browser, parental controls, calendar, content manager, and everything else. So let's go into settings and see what options are available to us. Go into sound and display and you can set the resolution. You have 480p. This is the old NTSC TV stand resolution that is used in North America and some other countries. I'm not quite sure why this has been included, because I doubt there are any standard definition TVs that take a HDMI cable. Then you have 720p and 1080i, which both show an upscaled version of the default 960 by 544 Vita resolution. Now, as I understand it, 720p is better overall for playing games because there is less flicker with the image and maybe a little bit less motion blur. And 1080i is to be used when playing 1080p video files, and hopefully it should look virtually identical. So set it to automatic and the PS TV should work it all out for you. To save energy, in the settings menu, go to power save settings. And then you've got the option to turn off the wireless controllers after a set amount of time. Either 10 minutes, 30 minutes or 60 minutes. You can also use the PS3 remote with your PS TV, which is great for controlling video files or downloaded movies. To do this, go to Settings, Devices, and register BD remote control. Hold down the Start and Enter button. And then the BD remote control will be registered. The strange thing is that you can't actually connect this remote to the PS4. So it makes you wonder why Sony haven't done this yet. When using a DualShock 4 on a PS4, you can plug in a pair of headphones into the 3.5mm jack and hear game audio through them. I tried it with the PS TV and unfortunately it doesn't work. Game compatibility. Well, the first thing we have to remember is that whilst the PSTV shares the same innards as the Vita, not all Vita games will be compatible. This is because the PlayStation Vita has a touchscreen on the front, touchpad on the back, a microphone and a camera. And the game that relies on all these inputs, such as Media Molecule's Tearaway, will not be compatible on the PSTV because it simply doesn't have them. Some games have been updated to be compatible, but if you try to launch a game that is not compatible, as I found out with Uncharted: The Golden Abyss, you will be shown an error message. I'll include a link to compatible games in the video information. Unfortunately, the PlayStation Store doesn't list which games are incompatible with PlayStation TV until you actually try to download them. So how do the games look?
Well,
seeing Vita games magnified on the big screen does show their limitations, such as their aliased or jaggy edges. Persona 4 Golden in some places looks like a late PS2 game, but then it is a remaster of a PS2 game. Or if you understand that cutting-edge PS4 quality graphics won't be available on a microconsole, then the PSTV has a lot to be impressed with. There are plenty of new Vita games that look great. For me, seeing Vita games on the big screen is amazing as it really opens up the visuals of a game, and I noticed details that I just didn't see before. Action RPG Dragon's Crown is so pretty. Let's take a quick look at a few other games. Freedom Wars.
please select your character.
Blaze Blue. Continuum Shift Extend. Lego Harry Potter, years 5 to 7. Hotline Miami. Dragon's Crown.
Spoken of in myths, is said to have destroyed Elysian civilization in one night.
One of the key features of the PSTV is remote play, the ability to play your PS4 games in a different room. On your PS4, click on the PS4 link bubble, then Start, then Next. It will then search to find your PS4, then when it does, it will connect to it. Once it connects, you will see your PS4's user interface, the PlayStation Dynamic Menu, PDM. You can now browse the PDM and launch games. Testing it, I found there to be only a slight 1 to 1.5 second lag, which will impact gameplay if you are playing competitive online games like Call of Duty or Killzone. It won't mean they are unplayable, just that when good players are there, they will shoot you before you shoot them. However, for single player games, the slight lag won't have any real consequence, and I was able to play action combat game DC Injustice God Amongst Us perfectly fine. Examining performance closely, you can see that colours are less vibrant and sound is slightly compressed.
Prepare to be astounded.
And I have read some rather sniffy reviews on major media sites damning remote play as under-delivering or even calling it broken. Well, let me tell you that it's not. It absolutely isn't. I think there are some so-called journalists who don't have a proper understanding of the streaming technology behind it. They naively expect remote play to deliver exactly the same performance as using a real PS4. But this won't be the case with streaming. So let me make it clear. If you are not playing competitive multiplayer games, then remote play delivers an excellent reproduction of the PS4 experience. It functions well, it looks good, you can play your PS4 games. It's a success. Okay, so to summarize, the main reasons for buying a PS TV are if you want to play Vita games on your big screen TV, or if you want to use remote play with your PS4, or if you're interested in using the PS Now game streaming service. So that's it, your introduction to the PlayStation TV. I hope it's given you some solid information and perhaps helped you to decide if it's right for you or whether it's not. I know some of you might have questions or comments, so please feel free to post at the bottom of the video and I will try and get around to answering everyone. If you found the video useful, please hit the like button and press subscribe for further PlayStation updates. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.